Double-double performance for Philip Manalang. Straightaway jumper. Nothing but sweet string music. Manzo with a steal. All the way. That's one out of the back. Highlight the University of the Philippines.
Here's the end of the moment.
CJ for three. Are you kidding me? Subido with a crossover. Subido for three. Renzo Subido. Leaves it for Edge. Oh! Here's Matt, the 30. Highlight coming. Two-hand slam. Dominance and the excellence of the Eagles continues.
Second to the last game day before we end the elimination round and we cap off another weekend here inside the United Center in Antipolo City. Bring you the action here in your UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament. We've got a Sunday doubleheader for you guys. Two important games here in the season. First up, we've got the UE Red Warriors facing the FEU Tamaraos, followed by the marquee matchup between the UP Fighting Maroons and the De La Salle Green Archers. We thank everybody for catching up the action live on SNA HD, Liga, and HD Sports.abs-cbn.com and on the app. You guys have Martin Javier here at your service. Our first game today, and I'm working alongside former UAAP champion Mr. Marco Benitez, and also joining us here at courtside, we've got our two reporters. First, representing UE, we've got Jaime Escalon, and on the other side for FEU, we have Maris Domingo. Now, I'll get to their stories in just a little bit. Let me go here to Marco first. We've got two teams here, UE and FEU, facing very situations, so this should be a good one for our first offering today.
Oh, definitely, Martin. And you know, despite the monster game having the second game, this is an all-important game, especially for the FEU Tamaraos, because a loss in this ball game could potentially even knock them out, depending on how La Salle plays their last two games. FEU needs to win here to have a shot at least still have a shot second spot, and hope UP loses their remaining two games. U Red Warriors already in contention, but they're playing for pride here, especially for the one and done guys. Race where they want to end their season on a couple of winning notes.
Right, that's the situation. Now, a lot of scenarios left here in the elimination round before we finalize, of course, our Final Four picture. But we go back to the first round encounter between these two teams. And in my opinion, Marco, I think we got the first glimpse of what FEU looks like when their shots are falling. 81 points on the board, including 11 three-pointers against UE to take their first win of the season.
One of their best performances in that first round, and it was good from the get-go. Started out on an 8-0 start for FEU, and they never looked back, led all the way, outscored UE 17-10 in the first quarter. Threatened, talking about UE, they threatened the third quarter, brought it back down to about 5 points, but they FEU then outscored them 23-14 in the fourth quarter. Wendell Comboy led FEU with 24 points, 3 rebounds, couple of assists. Jaquite, as has been all season long, the most consistent all-around performer for the U. 21 points, monster 15 rebounds, 4 blocks to his name.
But UE was actually knocking on the door, especially in that fourth quarter. It was 58-53 until FEU unleashed that 10-0 run that they were able to use as springboard to get that victory. All right, speaking of UE Red Warriors, they're coming off a tough game against champions. It seems like they hit the wall against Ateneo in that game. After a strong start to them, Marco B, 4-0 in that game. Ateneo made the necessary adjustments and never looked back, dominating here in this matchup.
Well, as you mentioned, Martin, it was a quick start for the Red Warriors, and if you go through their lineup, they have guys who can really score. You talk about Jed Mendoza, you talk about Ray Suerte, Alex Jaquite, even Philip Manalang, but it's a matter of putting in a consistent 40 minutes for them. And after that first quarter, Ateneo all the way from the halfway point of that first quarter up until the end game, 84-50. You look at the field goal percentage, dominated by the Blue Eagles, 42-32%. 3-point percentage.
Right.
Ateneo game was the worst 3-point shooting team in the league, but they knocked down 14 triples as compared to just 2 for the Warriors. Second chance points also dominated by the best rebounding team in the UAAP, or the second best rebounding team, 22-12. Also turnovers, they forced UE to 23 turnovers in that, resulting in 30 turnover points. And when you allow 30 turnover points against the defending back-to-back champs, that's very little chance of you away with a win.
Going back to the 3-point shooting there, the game plan was to actually let Ateneo shoot from the outside, and the Eagles answered, took on the challenge and shot 14 out of 42 downtown. But for UE in that game, this guy did almost everything for the UE Red Warriors. Siya na nga, at one moment, nagbaba ng ball sa UE, but of course, Alex Jaquite just doing everything to keep UE afloat against the Blue Eagles.
Well, without Alex Jaquite, it would have been a much bigger differential for the UE Red Warriors. And you know, outside probably of Bright Akueti, Alex Jaquite, probably the best back-to-the-basket post that we have here among the foreign athletes. And you see his numbers, 15 points, 15 rebounds. He's averaging 18 points, 14 rebounds, 8% from the field. But one thing about Alex Jaquite, he's also averaging about 5 turnovers per ball game. And you know, that is something that this FEU defense will try to exploit. Expect will probably throw a double or go coverage with Pachuente and maybe collapse on defense once Alex Jaquite puts the ball on the floor. But for UE, he will be the pivotal or the anchor of their offense inside.
That's right, and let's see how UE is planning to finish off the season. They're down to the last 2 games. Let's hear the story now from UE's courtside reporter. We have here Jaime Ascalon.
Yes, Martin and Marco, right after the tough loss to the Ateneo Blue Eagles, the locker room of the UE Red was full of emotions. There were actually some tears of the players' faces, and it was purely silent. Coach Lawrence Johnson decided to break the by reminding the guys that although they did not make the Final Four this season, does not mean it is a failed season. Them of all the lessons that they have learned together and the memories that they shared. Now, during Wednesday's practice, there was a special guest for the Red Warriors. Former King player Paul Lee suited up and practiced with the team, and this really helped with the team's morale and confidence coming in today's game. I also had the chance to speak to 2 one-and-done players, Jed Mendoza and Ray Suerte, regarding today's game. I asked them what this game is all about. Well, for Jed, this game is all about messing with the standings and pulling off one last upset. Samantalang si Ray just wants to continue to make the Red Warriors community. And sabi nga niya, 4 wins, why not? It's better than 3. That's all for now. Back to you, gentlemen.
Maraming salamat, Jaime. For Ray Suerte in his lone season here in the UAAP.
Oh yeah.
Sa basketball world dito sa Pilipinas, fantastic season for the one-and-done player, but that's what they need today. Motivation, the inspiration, going into their final 2 games here in season 82. Now let's go to the other side. The Far Eastern University Tamaraos winning a close one against Adamson, but they were in control most of that game, Marco, with the exception of the 4th quarter when Adamson made the late surge.
And again, FEU Tamaraos, really one of the hottest teams, or with the exception of whose record remains on FEU is 4-2 here in the second round after in the first round 3-4. So they remain one of the hottest teams, and it was a good start as well for them against the Adamson Soaring Falcons. They held Adamson 28% from the field, 35% for the FEU Tamaraos. They held Val Chauca, the leading scorer of Adamson, to just 1 point the entire ball game. You see their 3-point shooting, 10 out of 33 as compared to just 2 out of 27 for the Soaring Falcons. 12-6 in favor of FEU in terms of assists, but turnover points was in favor of the Soaring Falcons because FEU rather had 22 turnovers in that game. If UE can make a helter-skelter type of basketball, put pressure on FEU, they have the potential to force FEU into those turnovers, and they could even score baskets in transition off of FEU's turnovers.
There's a glaring problem, Marco B, for the FEU Tamaraos was of course the second half. They only had 20 points, but they still got the W. That's the most important thing. But these 2 we're going to talk about. Back play has been a big factor for FEU's victorious season so far. They're 7-6 right now. These 2 players dealing damage on the floor in different ways. LJ Gonzalez and of course the captain Ino Comboy, the graduating player, providing the goods for the Tamaraos in that game against Adamson.
And you know, I think once LJ Gonzalez has really accepted his role as the driver of this offense of Coach Olsen Rosera, things have turned for the better here for the FEU Tamaraos. You see both this court, scoring a combined 22 points, a combined 16 or combined 15 rebounds across their combined 4 assists. LJ Gonzalez, especially in that fourth quarter, they went almost exclusively to the top ball screen, either for LJ Gonzalez or Wendell Comboy, with a couple of scenarios, a couple of instances where it was Alex Stockton who used that ball screen. But I think the FEU offense so effective. LJ Gonzalez at the key, attacking the opponent's defense.
But a pressure-packed situation, a must-win situation faced right now by the FEU Tamaraos. Let's see what's the game plan for today for Coach Olsen Racela and the rest of his guys. We have here Maris Domingo. Go ahead, Maris.
Well, Martin and Marco, yesterday in their training, Coach Racela and the team said that they will dedicate this last game in the elimination rounds to their graduating seniors. Barkley Abon, Hubert Cani, Wendell Comboy, and Kim Baikin. He added, let's win this and let's get the seniors and to the Final Four. Coach Olsen said it after reminding the players to not be overconfident and complacent and to not get everything for granted. Speaking of seniors, yanong ko si LJ Gonzalez kung ano yung may tutulong niya sa seniors para makarating sila sa Final Four. Sabi niya, no-shock lang, katawan maitulong ko. Yem, nagagawa kami, players, uray na niya. Ibig sabihin nun, kung daw ay wala malaking tutulong, pero kung kasama niya ang mga players, tulong-tulong sila, ay makakamit nila ang ano. Now the Tamaraos will be resilient because it's not a secret that the UE Red Warriors will try to outrun and out-hustle them. But you know, they will be brave until they reach the finish line in this crazy race to the Final Four. Back to you, Martin and Marco.
Maraming salamat, Maris, and thank you also translating the message of LJ Gonzalez there. That's important for FEU. The mindset, you have to be on the same page, especially when you're facing this kind of situation, Marco B. And of course, let's see if Coach Olsen's boys are ready to respond to the call. But let's take a look at the two players that we will be watching in this particular game. Ray Suerte, player, 2 times his SAP MVP, goes against the top gunner on the side of that is Ino Comboy.
Two of the best scoring wings that we have here in the league, I would say. As you see, Ray Suerte's numbers clearly outscoring Wendell Comboy 16-10 in terms of averages, but 27% for Comboy in terms of three-point shooting, 25% for Ray Suerte. You can be sure both players, in particular Ray Suerte, will be a marked man here with the defense of FEU. And as you mentioned, FEU, they have to be on the same page because this 4-2 record for them in the second round would be all for naught with a loss here and back-to-back wins for the DLSU Green Archers. That would technically eliminate this FEU squad. So you do not want to have played such a great second round, close it out with a loss, and eventually be booted out of contention.
And ever since that big loss to NU, 61-39, their worst game of the season by talking about FEU, they've gone a total of 5-2. So we saw the change there, and the way they're up there scoring, adjusted on their offensive game, it has been impressive so far for the FEU Tamaraos. So let's see if they can take care of business here in our first game against the UE Red Warriors. But let's look at first the starting units for both teams of Coach Banner in both teams. Here are our two coaches, Coach Lawrence Chongson and of course Olsen Racela. All right, from UE first, starters here, Manalang, Suerte, Jaquite, Tolentino, and Apacible on the other side. FEU going with Gonzalez, the sophomore, and the rookie, Cyrus Torres, taking a start alongside Chuente, Ebonia, and Alex Stockton.
Well, Cyrus Torres really solidified his spot in that starting lineup, and I think it's because of the outside shooting. Whenever you have an LJ Gonzalez who's threat penetrating, you would like to surround him with shooters. Cyrus Torres, them. Alex Stockton, meanwhile, there for defensive purposes primarily. You would see him matched up against Ray Suerte, trying to give Ray Suerte a nightmare of a ball game here. Meanwhile, usual starters for Coach Lawrence Chongson. And I think he X factor here, whom we have not yet mentioned, Martin, is Pachu. This matchup between him and Alex Jaquite. If he can really contain Jaquite on the post, not force FU to go double the Jaquite in the post and just single coverage, that would mean a lot for the defense of the Tamaraos.
That's his main job there, to anchor the paint and to intimidate those shots in the painted area for the FEU Tamaraws. But also an interesting tweak here. Partly Ibonya off the bench, you making a start. Usually it's Yenes who's starting for the Tamaraws. So this is an obvious change in the starting unit for Coach Olsen Racela. To the coverage here, Martin Javier, Marco Benitez, Ascalon, and Maris Domingo. And start off with a two-handed hammer coming from Pachuente.
That one was a great find coming from Alex Stephen off the penetration, finding his big man under the basket. And I think one of the reasons why Ebony is starting, not only because of experience, but because Coach Olsen wants to give his graduating senior a chance to dictate the tempo and his mark immediately in this ball game.
We have 4 graduating players on this team: Kani, Ebonya, Komboy, and Paikin, who will be off the bench today. A miss on the other side for UE. Cyrus Torres missing also the mark from long range for FEU. Manalang.
Cyrus Torres averaging about 7 points per game, 37% long distance. He's already the third scorer in the FEU squad.
And he's really earned his minutes in this rotation for Coach Olsen Racela, especially a provides knockdown shooter presence on the floor for FEU. But Chuente scores for FEU. On the other side, we got Dakite for UE to open things up here.
And I think the reason why the floor to start much quicker on the double team for a big man. That time tried to double, but they just quick finishing with the left.
And Cyrus Torres missing the mark on 2 tries to begin his ball game here. Jakite will challenge the defense here of Chuente. He will carve base and underneath.
Just bullying his way in the paint. And the problem with that is that he started from beyond 15. Nobody there to stop the dribble, force him to pick it up.
And we got a foul here on the screen called Neil Tolentino. Let's take a look at that here. Jakite all the way from the 3-point line there. Marco B scoring the basket over Pachuente right there in our McDonald's instant replay.
And that one despite 2 other FEU Tamaraws going for double or going for the swipe.
You saw the numbers here, or you're seeing the numbers here. 2nd in scoring, 2nd in rebounding. And that's how Alex Jakite has been impressive here in season 82.
So far, a couple of good stops here for the Red Warriors. Let's see if they try to go back to Jakite in the post.
Manalang handing the rock here against LJ Gonzalez. There Alex Jakite, who turns and is called for the travel. Now the reason he has a lot of turnovers per game is because of those kinds of moves. When the way he shuffles his feet, usually he gets called for the travel.
First year in the league for Jakite. You can be sure that he's going to make some adjustments, improve on it in the off-season. But LJ Gonzalez, talk about improvement. That pull-up jumper from within 15 feet has been money.
That's a good start for LJ Gonzalez. He equalizes the game at 4. Suerte lets it fly. Suerte missing the mark. Gonzalez, he's got Stockton ahead. Stockton with a jam! Oh!
The Black Panther.
How about that jam? C2 fast break off the game. And FEU the 2-point lead, 6-4 going into this timeout. You know it's going to be an exciting game when you start off with 2 dunks for the Tamaraos. The latest one coming from Alex Stockton to give them the lead, 6-4 here with 7:19 remaining in the 4th quarter. Let's take a look. Takeoff and the jam for Alex Stockton right. Where did that come from? Mr. Stockton, Fujibar Opar's jam moment early on here for the FEU bench.
I was wondering why he was slowing down on the fast break. Idadaktak pala nitong si Alex Stockton. Meanwhile, steal by FEU off a turnover by the Red Warriors after a 2-1 press. LJ Gonzalez, number 2 in the league in terms of assists with 4 a game. Tied for 9th with a steal a game to his name as well.
In just his 2nd year in UAAP, marami pang lalaroin tong si LJ dito sa ating liga. Jaquite gets the rejection right there on Gonzalez.
Good anticipation from Jaquite. Going to a 2-3 zone.
Suerte handing the rock. Pasible, who is open just inside the arc, will not work. Stockton pulls it down. And here comes Alex Stockton with all the confidence now after that throwdown. Torres there, no good. And the rebound ending up with Philip Manalang. Torres 0 out of 3 to begin the game.
Almost another steal here for FEU. Silas Torres, 3 misses, and when the homeboy will come in for the FEU Tamaraos, likely in place of Silas Torres. So we talked about this top scoring court here for the FEU Tamaraos.
And both inside now. Gonzalez, boy. This is a slightly small backcourt for Coach Olsen Rosella. Suerte will back down here. Suerte is challenged. Pass intended for Tolentino is broken up, but UE gets it back here.
Good on the shot clock.
So 6-4 and 23 remaining in the opening period. Tolentino. They send it out to their captain, Philip Manalang. Will set up the offense here. Manalang did not give it back to Jaquite, and a shot clock violation against UE.
Took up too much time on that possession with 10 seconds left. Oh, Jaquite was asking for the isolation, telling his teammate to clear out his side, but Manalang for that to ask for that ball screen. Not enough time.
So FEU gets a chance to create a more comfortable cushion here. First, they go to Pachuente. Ebonia going to Stockton. Stockton, oh, naabangan ni Manalang. Suerte is on the move. Ray Suerte stops on a dime, kicks it out. Manalang catch and shoot, overshoots it. And the rebound ending up with Ray Suerte here. Second chance for E. Suerte, turnaround jumper. Law for Suerte. Maalat yung simula dito ni Ray.
And that's back-to-back the good defensive coming from Comboy, defending Suerte in the post.
Gonzalez with a slight push there. Stockton inside. Stockton scramble for the ball. Jaquite for it. And a ball here. Let's see.
It's twice they've tried to get the ball to Pachuente. Chuente just not able to gather. It's almost resulted in it, or it's going to result in a turnover here for the Tamaraos. They're going to give the foul to Alex Stockton.
That's right. Jaquite showing us the hustle right there. Energy for the UE Red Warriors. Ray Suerte on your screen. 16.8 points per game. That is number 5 in the league. So you got the number 2 and the number 5 scorer right now for UE.
For a while, he was, I think, top 2 during the first round. So his scoring dipped a bit. Of course, Toby Paraz's scoring has been up there. I think he's number 1 in the league.
Past couple of games have been tough for Ray Suerte. Manalang. Inside Jaquite. Oh, stolen away by Gonzalez. Here comes LJ. Gatorade hydration checkpoint. LJ is missing on the in. Halfway done here in the first. Tolentino feeds Jaquite. Sent back by Chuente. From the corner. Tolentino puts it in.
Way to stay with the possession there for Neil Tolentino. Not giving up on the play.
And 6 threes in a exciting start here for UE and FEU. Let's go to this timeout. 6-all here in the first quarter. Matchup between the UE Red Warriors and of course the FEU Tamaraos. 4:44 remaining here in the opening quarter. Both teams a slow start here. Beating his winning ways, Coach Lawrence Chongson. He continues to call the shots here for UE, hoping to lead them to a couple of wins before they end UAAP Season 82.
Well, the scoring may be low, but the intensity and the pace of the game really picked up here, with both teams trying to push in transition.
Wendell Comboy knocks it down from deep. That's his first three-pointer. And that's our 17 shoot beyond limit shot coming from Ino.
Well, there for the FEU Tamaraos, coming off the timeout, getting their #1 gunner open at the top of the key.
And finally, a three-pointer drawn here for FEU. Suerte against Comboy here. Suerte trying to decide. He kicks it out again. Manala moving closer, and a shot clock violation called on the Red Warriors here.
You know, that has to be on Panalang. As the point guard of this squad, you have to recognize how much time you need on the shot clock, as we see that the dagger 3 there coming from Wendell Comboy. Manalang actually had a wide open 3 off, but they decided to try to attack. He did not realize that the shot clock was running out.
I was unaware. And another energetic guard off the bench for FEU. Alforque now toughen from straight away. That's not gonna work. Jaquite corrals the rebound.
Good box out there from Jaquite.
Suerte. Manalang here. He will set the. They got 15 to work with. Manalang up against Hubert. All enter the game for FEU. Jaquite underneath. Got 6 points to begin this game.
You know, the heft of Jaquite, an advantage against Pachuente's length.
And Jaquite with a Yamaha Mio #1 move. 8-9 start here. Comboy the floater. Comboy drops it in.
Wendell Comboy is starting to get his rhythm early. That's the play that they like to run, the top ball screen between Wendell Comboy and Pachuente.
That's right. And the graduating player not wasting time here. He just checked in earlier. He's got 5 points already. Suerte making his move. Goes to Jaquite for the mid-range, Jay. Will not drop. Suerte, the tip-in will work for Ray Suerte.
Nobody boxed out Ray Suerte after that kick out.
First basket off the game. 3 tries coming from Suerte. Sending it out to Hubert Cani. Cani against Tolentino. Hubert. The ISO on Tolentino. Banker is good for Hubert Cani.
That's a great move there from Hubert Cani.
And that's our DB 100%. The amazing move of the quarter.
That's a former bullpup being defended by another former bullpup. Mistaken Neil Tolentino also
Agabo. Yeah.
coming from the NU Bullpups program.
Forke. Manalang over to Suerte at the corner.
FEU really collapsing their defense every time either Jaquite or Ray Suerte has the ball near the low block.
But that's a they will coming from Alex Jaquite from that area. Forke navigating through traffic. Everything but the basket for Royce Alforque there, but a call here against UE.
Looks like they're going to get Philip Manalang for pushing off against Chuente. Here's this tip-in from Chuente.
And Jaquite being challenged to take the jump shot there. Hubert Canner answering back rather on the other end with his banter off the glass. Tuffin will shoot it. Back rims that one. And ball ending up with Hubert. Another chance here for the Tamaraos. Hubert will facilitate. Looking for the Chuente screen. Gets it. He gets it right to the corner. They go. Tuffin sending it. Pass is too strong. And it will end up as a turnover here for FEU.
Hubert Cani had the right idea, but the pass was a little too low for Ken Tuffin to field it properly. Forced Ken Tuffin to another awkward pass, resulting in turnover.
And another window of opportunity here for the Red Warriors. A minute and a half remaining in the opening period.
I don't think Coach Lawrence Chongson has subbed out anybody. Still the same starting 5 here for the White Shirts.
Gamit na gamit yung starters dito ni Coach Lawrence. Oh, the poke from behind and the steal for the house. Alforque all the way to the basket.
How big an advantage is that?
our yellow end-to-end play of the Royce Alforque, taking it coast to coast.
Both former baby Tamaraos, both speeders in the backcourt. LJ Gonzalez on the bench right now, but Roy Alforque.
Meron ka pang ganung kalibreng player din off the bench as we see Tolentino score off the backcourt cut right there. 12-15, UE staying afloat here. Alforque goes Kentuf, who faces up and surveys the floor. They go to the curling combo right there. And a charge will be called here, Marco B.
Same play run, but except on the opposite side. They were about to get Wendell Comboy for that screen to the top of the key. But here's that fast break once again from Alforque.
And the answer coming from Neil Tolentino from inside. 12-15, half-minute remaining in the opening frame. Manala, Tolentino all day. Tolentino too strong. Rebounded by Jaquite. And Tolentino with a better angle here on the cut.
And again, Tolentino continues to persevere, did not give up on the play despite the miss. And he was supported by Alex Jaquite. Interesting stat here coming from our Sultan of Stats. Last season, both teams split their season series.
Ooh.
He won the first round encounter 1995, but FEU beat them in the second round 80-61.
Tinampakan nila yung isa last year as we see Tolentino score again. Off the ball action coming from Tolentino in the last two plays for UE.
That's for FEU to last shot of the quarter.
4 seconds for Alforque. Ooh, that's a foul on UE, but they are not yet over the limit.
A smart foul there on the part of Philip Manala. Next foul will send somebody to the free throw line.
So 2 points left for FEU. They have the 1 point lead here. Comboy will go to the sideline here to trigger the in. Wendell. Surveys going to Tuffin. Good look. Oh, Tuffin though, missing on the triple try. Also 0 out of 3 from 3-point range. And we end the first 10 minutes of play here inside the Inara Center with FEU ahead by a point. We go to the second frame when we return here on back to the ball game. 15-14 is the count here. And the matchup between the UE and FEU. Second quarter almost underway here. As of Marco Navarro, Marco Benitez, Jaime Escalon, Maris Domingo hauling this one. Marco B, what are your impressions of that first quarter? A very close quarter between these two teams.
Well, it was a fast-paced first quarter, but the scoring was almost not there. Low-scoring ball game so far, 15-14, is because both teams committed a lot of turnovers. 6 for UE, 5 for FEU, and also shooting blanks from the outside. Except for that triple comboy, UE has been 0 for 5. FEU has been 1 for 8 from downtown.
That's right. Scoring has been slow here. Let's see if the same story will unfold here in the second frame. Tamaraos get the basketball back. And field goal percentage here, they're tied here at 41%. Comboy pulling the trigger no good. And Eboña gets them the second chance.
Bienes is in here for the FEU Tamaraos, another big man who can stroke it from the outside. Jaquite is on the bench. And so is Pat Chuente.
That's right. So all locals on the floor from both teams. Jem Cruz pulling the trigger. That's off.
Not wasting any time early in the clock.
Alforque, that guy go. Nice intention to go inside to Bienes right there. But a foul first was whistled.
Ay, pasa pa niya yun despite the push.
Out of control na nga. Tutumba na lang, naipasa pa niya. And Jed Mendoza is in the ballgame for the University of the East. Chris Connor checking in for Neil Tolentino. And look at the acceleration and the change of direction coming from Alforque.
There's a slight shove coming from Mendoza. And then LJ Gonzalez and Alex Stockton checking back into the ballgame.
Bienes from the corner, not gonna go. And here Suerte, the rebound the other end. Brings it downhill. They go to Jed Mendoza here. He goes in the paint. He's shooting slightly better here, 7 out of 8 compared to 5 out of 7 from the Tamaraws.
That's primarily because Alex has been operating inside.
Oh, nice turn, but Mendoza couldn't finish. Jay Gonzalez is on the move. He will be fouled on his way up.
So hard to stop LJ Gonzalez once he gets a full head of steam.
Look at this. Earlier it was Forte who did this, and then LJ Gonzalez going all the way. Connor forced to give up the foul.
Nobody also getting in front of LJ Gonzalez to try and at least draw a charge.
And imagine this backcourt next season for FEU. They will be having RJ Abarientos in the fold, as you see here, former Tamarao Arvin Tolentino watching intently here in Antipolo City. Must-win situation squad. And he's faced a lot of this during his days in the UAAP.
But you're right, Mark. Next season, it's really going to be the LJ Gonzalez, Royce Alforque show, and you can bet Cyrus Torres as well will be manning that back. Alex Stockton, I think he still has a playing year.
So former Baby Tams will be taking over for FEU next year. Suerte. They send it out to Jed. Mendoza sending it out. Connor slips, slides, and loses possession. Here comes Stockton. Stockton bounce, and Epoña break free. Park Epoña with a PS bankable assist of the game coming from Alex Stockton. Parang PS Bank personal loan na line. No collateral.
Defensive miscommunication there. First thing you have to do on defense is run to the nobody there to try and put a body against Barkley.
And FEU getting the stops here in the second frame. Stockton thinking about it. Two-man game. Epoña the dish out. Bienes from the corner, short. And Mendoza pulls down the rebound. Jed is pushing. Jed outside. That's a turnover for
The
UE.
bench asking for a pushing foul there on LJ Gonzalez, and I think for good reason.
Look at this breakaway coming from Barkley Epoña. Again, the setup job coming from Alex Stockton right there.
Cyrus Torres back in the ball game for FEU.
Turnover count here, Marco B.
Turnovers for the Red Warriors, meanwhile 5 for the FEU Tamaraw. Turnover points, 4 turnover points for FEU, or make that 6 for FEU compared to 2 for the Red Warriors.
So 1/3 of their points so coming off those turnovers by UE. Cyrus Torres. Torres will for Torres. No 0 out of 4 now from 3-point range.
Not hesitate once he gets an open look.
Connor driving, attacking, and fouled in the process. It will be called against Barkley Epoña, I believe. Let's take a look at this drive coming from Connor. He's gotten a few minutes playing time off the bench coming from you. That's a foul, by the way, the rookie Cyrus Torres.
A lucky break as well for Connor because it looked like he slipped on that penetration. Apasible comes back into the ball game in favor of Beltran.
Over 3 minutes gone in the second frame. Catch and shoot off the rebound. Connor hit, and Epoña gets the rebound.
UE has been scoreless for a little over 3 already.
Hasn't scored here in the second frame. Meanwhile, FEU, Alex Stockton pulling the trigger and knocking it down downtown.
Only his 3rd triple of the entire season. But good time for it to.
Now, how about Stockton earlier? The jam and now the 3-pointer. Swept off the spin. Ball goes to Apasible. Apasible off the bank.
Using his heft against Barkley Ebonia. And you know, Stockton has also done a good job against Rey Suerte. That's going to be an offensive foul, illegal screen. Both two referees calling that against Ebonia.
Yeah, our referees were sync that time. Barkley Ebonia called for the personal, but the basket before was actually the first points of UE here in the second frame.
You see that clearly from that angle.
It was Connor running into Barkley Ebonia who provided that pick. Suerte shooting. Suerte too strong, rebound by Jed, but it ends up with Torres. 2-on-2 Gonzalez got defense in transition coming from Connor.
Quick hand there from Chris Connor on the deceleration by LJ Gonzalez.
And 21-16. 6-2 start for FEU here in the second quarter.
New face on the floor here for University of the East, Harvey Pagsanhanas. Nice baseline inbounds play there for Ray Bienes.
That's a knockout play coming from Bienes. Good set from FEU, and they take the 7-point advantage. Suerte. Apasible had to adjust. No go. It is rounded. Torres going to Stockton right away. Stockton the hop. The acrobatic shot is good for Alex Stockton.
What hand time there from Alex Stockton. Suerte. Great cover defensively.
And Stockton with a Mitsubishi Mirage G4 drive off the game. FEU building the 9-point lead.
Bitin na yung tira ni Stockton but still manages to get it up.
Pero mahilig sa ganun si Stockton. Nahihirapan bago maglando niya tirahin. Mendoza tried to go under there, did not work.
Tried to fish for the foul as well.
Stockton called for steps. And a turnover for the FEU Tamaraos. 5:04 remaining here in our second quarter.
It's been a 10-2 second quarter here in the span of about 5 minutes for the FEU Tamaraos.
Barkley Ebonia, interesting stat here, 3.2 fouls per game, #1 in the league. He's been so foul prone, and this is coming off the bench for pretty much most of the season.
He really knows how to maximize the amount of fouls allowed.
As we hit our Gatorade hydration checkpoint here, Rey Suerte scoring side off the putback plus the foul.
Rey Suerte has not been able to connect from the outside, finding other ways to contribute and put some points on the board.
And both of his baskets so far have been off putbacks. Talking Rey Suerte, and he trims the lead down to 7 going into this quick break. Back to the ball here inside the United Center. We continue the UAAP weekend here in Antipolo City with this matchup between the UE Red Warriors and the FEU Tamaraos. Right now, FEU on top by 7, 20-18, but Rey Suerte has a bonus free throw coming up for Red Warriors.
Another good start here for the FEU Tamaraos in the second quarter. Here's that, I would say, dribble of Alex Stockton, and then the hang time. Just pure upper body strength there. well challenged by Ray Suerte.
And look at the activity here. Alex Stockton so far, 7 points, perfect from the field. And check this, a +10 in his BPN, box plus minus here in this match.
The reason is because he's also defending against Ray Suerte, and Ray Suerte has been limited to just 5 points in the ballgame so far.
From the corner, he knocks it down.
Second triple of the game. To make the third triple of the game for the FEU Tamaraos. UE has yet to connect.
So it cancels the 3-point play earlier by Suerte. Suerte driving, too strong on the lay-in. Here comes Gonzalez on the move. LJ attack. LJ with the finish.
How about the crossover and the burst of speed?
And Gonzalez with our Jollibee 100% amazing move of the quarter.
That's unfair.
And FEU building the 11-point lead. 15-5. Here in the second frame, Mendoza forcing one up, no good.
Back-to-back misses there for the University of the Oh, nobody looking for FEU. And Coach Olsen Rosella telling LJ Gonzalez. The closer pass was to Ken Tuffin. He was to go towards Ray Bienes.
Yeah, but Tuffin here nailing the corner triple, and then LJ Gonzalez blowing by Mendoza. And then it all the way to the left fan. FEU pushing the pace here in the first half with 11 fast break points, Marco B.
That's difficult to defend because LJ Gonzalez going full speed for a split second, decelerates, crosses over, and then explodes once again.
Kung ikaw yung si Jed Mendoza, ikaw pa yung matatakot eh. Kasi yan na siya, rumaraga sana naman. Manalang here. Manalang. Passing it to Jaquite. Jaquite overshoots. Probably slipped off the hands of Jaquite right there. But Alforque here off the bank. The pull-up jumper is good. FEU ahead by 13. Our pure gold, always panalo move coming from Royce Alforque.
You know, the perimeter players of FEU have been outplaying the Red Warriors 11-0 in terms of perimeter points in favor of the Tamaraos.
Jaquite on the roll, too strong. He gets it back. Jaquite will be fouled in the process. And it's going to be on Pachuente.
Jaquite being collapsed on by 4 green shirts.
Take a look at this move. Alforque stopping, popping, and nailing the shot there. Our McDonald's instant replay. And the bench of FEU so far, Marco B, as we saw earlier, 14 points so far, getting it done here. A big factor why they're leading it here in the quarter.
And you know, that move by Royce Alforque, that's something that coaches love to teach the guards on their squad, to have that in their arsenal. Ability to push the ball on the floor and the ability to pull up on a dime from 15 feet.
I think a certain T.Y. Tang comes into mind.
A certain Johnny A as well.
Johnny A, that's right. As we see, Comboy stroke it from downtown here. 16-point lead, Magnite Vision player of the game. Yeah, Captain Ino Comboy, another one.
Tamaraos on a roll right now. They've outscored UE 20-5 here in the second quarter.
It has been an outburst here for FEU. Jaquite finally scored on the drive.
Good defense there coming from Chuente, but just bustling his way.
Jaquite breaking dry spell. Alforque navigating through traffic there all the way to the hoop.
Now, one thing about the guards of FEU, they are so good using that top ball screen, and then they have the ability to accelerate once they turn the corner.
37-21. Biggest lead of the game for the Tama. Manalang misses, but the tip is right there for Alex Jaquite. Working hard as per usual for Coach Lawrence. But the Red Warriors are down big here, 23-37. Let's go to a quick break. to the ball game, and we are seeing an FEU avalanche here in the second quarter. 22-9 outburst here, Marco B, for the Tamaraos to create the 14-point lead.
And you know, this combination, or the four guards of FEU, Comboy, Stockton, Alforque, and Gonzalez, have combined for 26 of the 36 of the Tamaraos.
And then we mentioned on the top of the coverage that backcourt play is a big factor why FEU has been winning here in season 82. And it's translated here in this ball game, but they made a shot there, rebounded by Tolentino. Here comes Philip Manalang. A minute and a half in the first half. Jaquite going to Tolentino, who surveys, going to Manalang now. Philip backing up. Manalang will attack, runs into a wall, or Alforque rather, running into Jaquite, who provides the hard screen.
I think that's a good call by the referee. FEU defending that elevator well. That angle, you don't see whether Alex Jaquite is still moving. Well, that was a solid pick nonetheless.
Erasing Alforque. Hubert Cani. Cani dropping it off. Comboy it out. Alforque to Wendell here. Eno Comboy, no good. And Tolentino stretching for the rebound. Under a minute remaining in the first half, Tolentino, University of the East, down by 14. Manalang will back. Manalang. Ball almost stolen away, but a foul will be called here, and FEU is over the limit.
And let's take a break there for Philip Manalang because he has lost that basketball for a split second.
It was off the help provided by Eno Comboy there, so that's a foul on FEU. And Manalang will be shooting free throws. FEU already in the penalty.
That's the first foul against Wendell Comboy.
So speaking of a former Bullpup, ito yung magkakampi dati, Manalang and Tolentino.
That's right.
Alongside Balti Baltazar back then.
Even John Lloyd Clemente.
That's right, correct. Philip Manalang here in his last year for the University of the East. Knocking down the free throw. Time out on the floor. FEU still ahead by 12. 39 seconds remaining. A quick reminder here for our fans abroad, you may watch the UAAP Season 82 on TC Online. It is available for our premium subscribers, or you can purchase the UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Season Pass for only $299. FEU legend right there, Mark Isip. Of course,
Not the only legend on the bench.
Nope. Lenok Miranda, also there. Johnny A, also there.
And a little farther back, Lastimosa did not play for FEU, but legend nonetheless.
And of course, Coach Olsen Rosella.
Oh yeah.
Former Blue Eagle. So here, corner, will miss from downtown. And UE has a to chip away here before we end the first half.
In his 1-5 from long distance. And this is one guy who has really transformed his game.
Yeah.
Remember before he operated pretty much almost exclusively inside, but he has developed that outside shot.
And he's been more consistent, especially this season. Apacible, cleaning up his own mess right there. What a flakes, kakaibang move coming from John Apasible. Apasible.
I think they got Ken Tuffin for the initial foul for the putback.
Also Harvey Pagsanhan.
So Apasible, let's see if he be given 2 or 1 free throw only.
For Pat Duwente.
But Apasible got the basket right after the foul.
2 foul shots.
So 2 shots coming from John Apasible. Basket earlier did not count.
So it was on the first move where they called the against Tuffin.
And Apasible missed on the first. Apasible has come back here in the UAAP. Of course, coming off Hope in high school. Highly recruited big guy of the school program there.
I expect to press off of this conversion.
So Apasible trimming the lead down to 11, 5-0 run unleashed by the Red Warriors.
That's going to be a good foul there, go on. Outside because UE not yet in the penalty. LJ Gonzalez was almost a full head of steam.
So Harvey called for the personal, 4 seconds remaining here in the first half. Cyrus Torres to trigger this one in. Last shot time for FEU. They go to Comboy. Releases and knocks it down at the buzzer here to end the first half.
What a play call there off the sideline inbounds. Wendell Comboy fades to the weak side. Bienes pops out, finds his wide open shooter. Little challenge by Apasible. No problem for Wendell Comboy.
Nino Comboy breaking the 5-0 run of UE and stretching the lead back up to 14, 40-26. As we go to our halftime break here, numbers, highlights, analysis coming your way right here on SNL. At the half here inside the Inares Center, UAAP Season 82 Men's Basketball Tournament. On your screens right now is the FEU cheering squad performing here at our halftime break. Malapit na rin yung cheer dance competition. It's November 17. Let's take a look at first our PS Backable fan of the game. A lot of reasons to cheer if you are an FEU fan. Deposit checks in a Snap PS Bank mobile. Download now. Also, quick reminder here, mga kapamilya, commute warrior ka ba? Sa ABS-CBN TV Go, masusurvive mo na ang stress ng araw-araw na traffic, panahon at hassle ng commute. Catch UAAP live as it airs with no data charges while watching. There you go. Follow TV Plus Go on Facebook to know more. Also, another reminder, get 10% off on select UAP merchandise items today. Visit www.uap.com now and flex your school spirit. And if you guys are online, catch all of the UAP C82 men's basketball action on iWant. Just download the iWant app or go to www.iwant.ph/sports and watch the games live and on replay anytime, anywhere. 40-26 for FEU here at the half. When we return, we'll show you highlights of the first half, and of course, we'll break down the numbers in UAP on SNA. Backdoor coverage. Backdoor coverage here in the UAAP Season 82. Live on SNA at halftime. It is the FEU Taos with a commanding lead 40-26 over the UE Red Warriors. You guys are joined by Martin Javier, Marco Benitez to break the game down later on. Joining us are our courtside reporters Jaime and Maris Domingo. But let's go to the highlights here first, Marco B. What was the story in the first and second quarter? Because, you know, after the first, UE was in the ball game, but then FEU came alive in the second.
Well, UE started out strong, trying to post up Alex Jaquite, got a couple of baskets inside the paint. Alex Stockton dictated intensity here for FEU Tamara with that dunk off the transition basket. But as you mentioned, Martin, it was close after the first quarter, 14-15 in favor of the Tamara. As you see those penetrations coming from FEU, but it was that second quarter run by the FEU Tamaraos led by Wendell Comboy coming off the bench, scoring 7 points. Royce Alforque also with 6 points off the bench. Alex Stockton also gave a good account of himself with 7 points as a starter. It was a 25-12 second quarter in favor of FEU Tamaraos that has really pulled the game wide open. Biggest lead of the game was 16 points for the FEU Tamaraos.
And we keep wondering which FEU will show up in games here in that second quarter. We saw their hot shooting version. I mean, nailing their three-pointers, most of them, and scoring a lot on the break. And of course, these guys off the bench, Alforque and Homeboy, leading the second unit today for Tamaraos.
Well, Jaquite and Ray Suerte have had to bleed for their points pretty much, because every time they get the ball close to the paint, FEU's defense collapsed inside that paint. You see what an amazing stat line here brought out by our Sultan of Stats, Pong Tucanes. Perimeter points 17-0 in favor of FEU. Steals 4-2, fast break points 11-0, bench points 24-0 in favor of the FEU Tamaraos. Also shooting 5 out of 18 for FEU, 0 for 9 for the UE Red Warriors, and that is the reason why the FEU is up by 14 points. You see the leaderboard, Comboy with 11, Jaquite with 10 points. He has had to bleed for those. Out of 10 from the field, of course, LJ Gonzalez 4 rebounds, Ray Suerte with 7 rebounds, finding other ways to contribute to his squad. Stockton and Suerte also with 3 assists apiece.
That's right, Comboy leading the way off the bench and contributing 11 of the 24 bench points for the FEU Tamaraos here. But of course, adjustments will be made by both of our coaches. Let's see what they talk about in the dugout. Let's go first to you side. We have here Jaime Ascalon.
Yes, Martin and Marco, in the first half, Coach Lawson was not pleased with those shot clock violations. Sabi nga niya, be less hesitant, be more decisive, basta libre, itira mo na, giving everyone the green light to shoot in the second half. Now, one point of emphasis in the locker room was for Alex and Ray Suerte to find other teammates to kick out. Despite being organized, sabi nga ng coaching staff, pasok at pasok rin yan, itira nyo lang. That's all for now. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Jaime. Tignan natin kung sino yung puputok pa dito at tutulong sa UE Red Warriors going into the second half. Because again, been Ray Suerte and Alex Jaquite solely scoring here for UE.
Well, Neil Tolentino had a couple of good attempts. He had a couple of good putbacks, staying with the play. I think he can contribute. Of course, Philip Manalang has to be more aggressive, and he has to really keep in mind and attention to the shot clock, because he's the floor general on the floor for the Red Warriors.
And now let's hear it from FEU side. We have here Maris Domingo. Maris?
Well, Martin and Marco, in the dugout, Coach Olsen asked the boys, how much do you want? Sabi niya, kapag nagdududa kayo, kapag naguguluhan kayo sa inyong mga sarili, always ask, how much do you want this win? The team is well aware the UE Red Warriors will try to mess the team standings and of course, the boys' morale. That's why today's game will not be easy. That's why they need to play with their best for them to win this last game in the eliminations. But you know, the Red Warriors are hungry for that win, played side by side against the Tamaraos. That's why also Rosella told the boys to strengthen their defense. Sabi niya, eto na naman tayo, nakikipagpalitan na naman tayo ng puntos lalo sa first quarter. But in the second quarter, the boys limited that from happening once again. Now, before the Red Warriors make any serious run, team captain Ken Toffin said, come on guys, let's do it for our seniors. Let's give them this. Now, the team will grind hard for them to outrun their opponent. Back to you, gentlemen.
Thank you so much, Maris. I like how they're really addressing the mental aspect here for FEU, because they've been playing so well in the past few games. Yun lang talagang iniiwasan nila, marattle, because this is such a pressure situation for them. All right, second half coming up next. This is the match between the UE Warriors and the FEU Tamaraos when we return right here on SNA. Back to the ball game, and we continue this coverage with Koho creating beautiful plays. Ino Comboy providing us with a three-pointer buzzer beater in the first half, and that enables FEU to take the 14-point lead going into the third quarter here. You guys are joined by Martin Aviles, Jaime Ascalon, and Maris Domingo here in the coverage. Second half underway. UE and FEU battling it out here again, facing very situations. UE now out of Final Four contention. FEU, on the other hand, wants a win to make things less complicated in their Final Four stint here.
Cyrus Torres continuing to shoot blanks, but you know he has the green light from Coach Olsen Rosella. Currently is 0 out of 6. That's right, from the field.
So the rookie has been struggling in this game, but got the start from Coach Olsen today. Here's the up jumper. That's going to be a foul on Alex Stockton as he was trying to contest that jump shot coming from Suerte.
And it was actually a good challenge on the part of Alex Stockton, except at the last second put the hand down, and that was what caused the contact against Ray Suerte.
So Stockton will be called for his second foul. FEU starting pretty much the same starters with the exception of Barkley Ibonia, who is replaced here by Ken Tuffe. And on the other side for heavy minutes for Manalang, Suerte, Pasible, and Jaquite, but Antipor is here to start for the second half here for UE.
First sign of action actually for Jojo Anteporda here in the second half. UE sticking with this 2-3 zone. Right. They're going to force FEU to try to beat them from the outside.
Stockton driving the dish out. Torres going to the corner. Might have had the open shot there, but let's see a scramble for the ball here between Jaquite and Stockton.
And that's why Coach Olsen Rosella is getting mad at Cyrus Torres, because he had the wide open look, but instead decided to pass it, make the extra shot, causing another turnover for FEU.
And that also wasn't an open Ken Tuffin at the corner. He had the defender right in front of him. Over a minute gone here in the third quarter. A 12-point lead faced by the UE Red Warriors. Suerte has the basketball. Suerte. Torres with a tap from behind. Suerte almost turning the ball over, but it stays with UE here with 6.8 remaining on their clock.
Alex Stockton, such a pesky defender. You know, against Ray Suerte, who's probably a inches taller than he is.
Yeah. Suerte to inbound, going to Jaquite. He carves space, no good. He gets the offense rebound, and LJ Gonzalez forcing the jump possession arrow points to FEU's direction.
That's a great defensive stop there by LJ Gonzalez. There he is tying that basketball.
Yeah. Another pesky guard here for FEU. LJ Gonzalez gets them the possession. Stock to the corner. Torres open. And Torres still So Cyrus Torres, yeah.
He is leaving him wide open until he can prove that he can knock it down.
Iwanan pa rin siya dito ng UE. Manalang driving the dish out to Antiporda. Antiporda almost losing it, sending it over to Huerta. Shot clock winding down. 3 seconds. Oh, the strip by Stockton. And almost a shot clock violation for UE, but continues here. FEU gets the rebound. Gonzalez. Stockton on the cut. The dish out. Tough from the corner. And Tuffin drops it in.
That's almost automatic for Ken Tuffin.
And Ken Tuffin with a Vivo V17 shoot beyond limit shot. FEU stays ahead by 15.
38% from that area.
That's a high tip coming from Ken Tuffin. Again, is that through his years here in the UAAP. Suerte. Again, Stockton with a hand on it. Suerte, pinapahirapan pa rin.
There by Alex Stockton. Another shot clock violation here for the UE Red Warriors.
Look at the dish here. Stockton setting up Ken Tuffin for the corner triple there. Tuffin.
Partida na yun sa paa ni Alex Stockton doon sa paa ni Ken Tuffin.
Baba nung kuha ni Tuffin pero napasok pa rin. So 43-28. Tuffin. Comboy had a good look. Bounce pass inside. Chuente went for the poster. But Apasible will be charged for the foul.
And Chuente is frustrated at himself, but he had the right idea to flush it down. Again, nice offensive formation. 1-3-1 formation by FEU Tamaraos to counteract that 2-3 zone by UE.
And he had a good elevation on that one. It's just that Apasible had enough strength to actually push him out of that, to at least prevent that dunk from happening.
Chuente so far, just 2 points in the ball game, make that 3. This is his first trip to the foul line.
In his first matchup with Alex Jackie this season, at 9 points and 6 rebounds. In their previous game against Adamson, he only had 4 points more, but did have 16 boards to his name.
Season high for Chuente so far has been 21 points
Against LaSalle.
So you know he has the ability to explode. That having a hard time matched up, and especially against this 2-3 zone.
44-28. Back to a 16-point lead for FEU.
Full court pressure right now for the green shirts.
UE unable to capitalize on their solid start earlier. Jaquite thinking about for Manalang instead. Philip stops on a dime, sending it out. Jaquite for 3. And the rebound. FEU takes it away, but a foul first was whistled.
That's going to be a foul, I believe, on Wendell Combo. You know, FEU will give that shot to Jaquite all afternoon long.
Second team
Alex
foul.
Jaquite, 5 out of 13 from the field with 10 points in this ball game. Suerte. They go to Jaquite here, who will face up against Chuente. Now he will back down. Jaquite sending it out. Anteporda from the corner. That one was deflected by Comboy. Gonzalez crossing over. The dish to Chuente inside. Suerte comes with it. And here comes Manalang. They have the numbers. Anteporda for 3. Still off. Jaquite fighting for it. Diving for it.
And sacrificing his body on that sequence. Early attempt there coming from Jojo Porda. It was a 2-on-1 fast break.
Jaquite wants that ball, but it sails out of bounds. Anteporda with 2 straight misses from both corners there for UE.
Similar to the first quarter, Martin, it's been a low-scoring third quarter. Just 4 points for FEU, only 2 points for the Red Warriors.
That's right. Rey Suerte. See if he can change it up here. Rey Suerte to Jaquite. Again, they're leaving him open from that area. Philip Manalang here. Screen provided by Jaquite. Manalang too strong from deep. Wendell Comboy brings it downhill for FEU.
Both teams shooting blanks here in the third quarter.
Comboy using that wall provided by Puente. They go to Stockton. LJ here with 10 seconds to work. Stockton Chuente, who had the lane but couldn't quite finish the shot. And that's going to be a foul here against Alex Stockton.
Talking
Gonna
about
foul
number
against
2,
Jo-
Alex
foul against
Stockton is
Jojo
third.
Stockton on Jojo Antiporda. So it looks like
for
Ray Suerte
MJ
got all
Gonzalez.
ball, but here's
Hubert Kenny for
spike
Alex
attempt
Stockton.
by Stockton.
Also Bruce
And
replacing
Stockton with his
Jojo
third foul of the
Antiporda.
game. He will be replaced by Hubert Cani. And Alforque also in the ball game for Gonzalez.
He face on the
Leon
floor as
Lorenzana
well
coming in for John
for
Apacinde.
Coach Lawrence Chongson. Leon Lorenzana.
Yeah.
He has only played 4 previous matches.
So Coach Lawrence digging deep into his bench here to find a spark for the UE Red Warriors here in the second half. Suerte. Lorenzana to Manalang. Manalang is guarded by Alforque. Manalang to Jem Cruz. Cruz. Jaquite from long range again. And it still doesn't work as we reach our Gatorade hydration checkpoint third.
The defense of FEU has been superb in this ball game. They've really countered that game between Ray Suerte and Jaquite.
One of the best in defending that three-point line, but Cani will lose possession. Here comes UE on the move. Suerte. Suerte got the defender to
Basket
commit
bounce
right
for
there. He will
Ray
score the basket there. And the whistle. Suerte with a three-point play opportunity for our Domino's Pizza. What a delivery play.
Ray Suerte has really had to work hard for his buckets.
Mandatory timeout.
Let's take a look at the play here. Suerte with the initial fake. And then he made the defender pay. Foul in the finish for Suerte. Timeout on the floor. FEU still ahead. (44-30) is the count here in the third quarter. 4:36 remaining. And the third frame here inside the United Center in Antipolo City. Let's take a look at Jose and Rara Racela for our video coaches winning ways. Again, manufacturing FEU, his team rather, manufacturing this 14-point lead here in the third quarter. But Ray Suerte will complete three-point play. He's got 9 points and 9 rebounds. But again, you mentioned before we went into the break, he's had to bleed for his points in this matchup.
Well, the perimeter defense of FEU has been superb, and there's still a lot of time. 4 minutes, an entire fourth quarter to go. And I would think UE would do well to try to ball inside to Alex Jaquite, force the defense to collapse, and then hopefully get open looks from Ray Suerte, because the defense on that two-man game has been spectacular, as Wendell Comboy himself has been spectacular downtown.
And Comboy, our Manulife Vision player of the game. Speaking of open looks, that was an open look for Comboy, and he nails the three-pointer to push the lead back up to 16. Follow-up by Jaquite will not work. Here comes FEU again. Alforque, Comboy thinking about it. Step back, sending it out. Bien to Cani. Hubert on the attack. Stops on a dime. Bienes. Floater. Bienes will not hit. And the rebound ending with Royce. Hubert. To shoot. No good.
Alex Jaquite has played significant minutes. Oh, that's going to be a miscommunication. Jeff was not ready for the pass.
That is turnover number 11 for UE. Ball rotation. EU earlier ending up with that open look for Comboy for that triple.
Comboy shooting 4 out of 6 from downtown. That's good for 67%.
That's right. Oh, here's the takeaway by Suerte. Suerte doesn't have the numbers. He is rejected up top by Bienes.
That's excellent defense by there by Hubert Cani. Put a body, go body to body against prevent him from elevating.
And Ray Suerte is really a marked man here. Bienes with a rejection. McDonald instant replay. Jem Cruz from deep. Too strong, still nothing from downtown for UE.
That's right, 0 out of 16 from the three-point area for the Red Warriors.
Alforque, drops in the triple. Royce Alforque with our jockey 100%. Young move of the quarter.
Meanwhile, for FEU, that is the 8th triple of the game out of 25 tries.
FEU able to duplicate their performance in their first round encounter. 8 out of 25 from the field. Jaquite missing from point blank. Here's Alex again. This time scores inside.
I feel Jaquite is more effective inside because when the one setting the screen on top of the key, he's not a threat from the outside. So his defender just hedges against that penetration by Ray Sweat.
So 2.5 remaining. Bienes lost it. He recovers, goes to Alforque who drives. Foul on the floor. And they're gonna call it against Lorenzano, I believe. Either Lorenzano or Suerte. Let's take a look at this first.
Number 4, Ray Suerte.
Cani to the open Alforque, who takes advantage. Knocks down the triple underneath here on the second try, Marco B. It is Alex Jaquite scoring his 12th point of the game.
Without Pacho on the floor, Jaquite has the clear advantage against any one of the big men of FEU. That one again, that time against 3 defenders.
So Alex with 10, Suerte, or Alex rather with 12, Suerte with 10. Cani missed on the short stab, and Suerte up. Ray on the cross. Pass is deflected.
That one.
Cani to Comboy. Oh, sent back by Alex
2
Jaquite.
minutes.
Suerte off the spin. Sending it out. Manalang for 3. Manalang knocks down.
And finally a triple for the UE Red Warriors.
And that is our Water Flakes. Kakaibang move from Philip Manalang.
That's a nice decision there as well from Ray Suerte, not to force the issue, find the open teammate. But Will Comboy answers right back.
Still waxing hot here in the second half is Comboy. He's got 17 with 5 triples across his name, Marco B. Remember in their first round encounter, he had 24 points and 6 triples.
And there's something about this matchup between the UE Red Warriors and the FEU Tamaraos.
Suerte answers right back here, Marco B.
And this is going to be a shootout between the 2 players that we saw in our matchup in the pregame.
And Bonya picks it up. Boy couldn't recover. Backcourt violation. FEU. So action picking up in the third. This was the rejection coming from Jaquite. That's fueled this free player at the other end by Phil Manalang. But quickly answered Marco B. And then Ray Suerte backed up and calmly knocking down the 2 straight threes for UE to pull to within 14. Here's Suerte again. Suerte drops in, catching here in the third.
That's a good record there for you. You go back to your scorer who had just hit a basket. Let him keep shooting until he misses.
And all of a sudden we have an 11-point game. Alforque gets inside, floats it up and in.
What a penetration, what guts there from Royce Alforque in the heart of the defense. Gotta put a body on Ray Suerte.
55-42. It is Philip Manalang to set the table for UE. About 5-second differential between Bucks. Philip, Suerte again from straightaway. Bit of a heat check right there for Ray Suerte. Who had Comboy running into it.
Still a good play. Your scorer, Ray Suerte, had just hit back-to-back triples from almost the same spot.
And Wendell Comboy today has come through for the FEU Tamarao, 17 points on 5 triples, way above his scoring average here. And also Rey Suerte coming alive here in the third. He only had 5 points at halftime. Now he is at 16, 11 here in the third quarter.
He and Jaquite have combined for 28 big points, but Comboy and Alforque have also combined for 28 points off the bench.
That's right. It's been the story here. Last shot time for FEU with 7 seconds remaining in the third. We'll need to go quickly here.
That's a good foul.
UE not yet over the limit, only their team foul. Let's take a look at this play earlier, executed by UE. Suerte off the screen time from straightaway, and then quickly answered by the drive, Royce Alforque. Kani, quick execution for FEU. Nilapit ni Gonzalez. He will be fouled on his way.
That's a good decision there on the part of LJ Gonzalez. You know, with his speed, he knew he had time to finish that up. So instead he goes to the line after the foul.
And here are the numbers of Rey Suerte. A double-double today for Rey Suerte.
11 points in the third quarter alone. And we were talking about how for a good 3 minutes, both teams had only scored 4 points apiece. UE now with 16 and FEU with 15 points.
And good decision also early LJ Gonzalez, who had about 3 seconds to operate from that baseline. He was able to draw the foul in the process. And he knocks down the first free throw.
Rey Suerte has scored 11 of the 16 points of the UE Warriors here in the third quarter.
And for UE, they have 0.2 seconds here left in the third. Gonzalez with 7 points in the game, knocking down 2. So the lead is 15. Jaquite, full court pass, ending up with no one there. Will be 57 to 32. It's FEU. We go back to the ball game here inside the Inares Center in Antipolo City. UAAP Season 82 continues here on SNA. UE and FEU squaring off here in our first offering of the day. You guys are joined by Martin Javier Benitez, Ascalon, and Maris Domingo here in the coverage. And entering the final quarter of this game, it is the FEU Tamaraos with a 15-point lead, 57 to 42. And after the slow start we had to the second half, action has officially picked up here. Marco B, as we take a quick scan of the quarter scoring here.
Well, what still stands out is the 25-point second quarter of the FEU Tamaraos. Despite the fireworks of Rey Suerte in the third quarter, they still allow FEU to score 17 points. That's the reason why they're down by 15 points here going into the fourth quarter. So UE needs to make stops. They can't afford to just trade baskets with the FEU Tamaraos squad.
That's correct. FEU led it earlier by as many as 19 points. Now it's at 15. UE will have it here as we begin the fourth quarter action of this game. Jaquite into a double, will be fouled by Pachuente there.
And you know, this is the time for UE to pound the ball inside to Jaquite. Ray Suerte waxing hot.
Second.
Maybe able to find him for the open kick out as the defense of FEU collapses against Jaquite.
Jaquite.
So Alex Jaquite looking to do damage here at the free throw line for UE, nailing the first. He's got 13 points and 9 rebounds in this game.
For Jaquite.
Missing the second.
Alex back in the ball game.
And right away pushing the base. Chuente. Two-handed hammer going out. But FEU will get it back here.
Oh, that's the way you try to finish in transition.
Gonzalez accelerating to the hoop.
Low by LJ Gonzalez. Slight hesitation and then from 0 to 100 in a second.
LJ Gonzalez. He was once dubbed as the Brook of the UAAP Juniors Division. 43-59 FEU. Manalo cutting Tolentino, but he couldn't finish. Jaquite trying to clean it up, no good. Tolentino ends up with it. And we have a foul here against the FEU Tamaraos. Tough will be called for this one.
A lot of color developing here inside the paint, but here's that dunk attempt from Chuente. So the challenge by Apasilio
Second team foul.
just forced to miss, and then layup. LJ Gonzalez makes it look like it's an uncontested layup.
That's right. And he's at the house in this third.
Perimeter point 29-9 in favor of the Tamaraos.
That is because of their three-point shooting here. They have nailed 9 triples in this game so far. Starters. Again, the starters doing heavy damage here, doing heavy lift for the UE Warriors. Toughen to Gonzalez. Gonzalez thought about it. Instead, he will slow it down. And the bench points dominated here by the Tamaraos. One of the biggest stories of this game, led by Eagle Comboy, of course. Chuente pulls it down. And another chance here for FEU. Over 2 minutes gone. Alex Stockton will facilitate. Stockton weaving through traffic. No good. Chuente, no good on the putback as well. But Gonzalez gets them the third chance.
Offensive rebounding in favor of the FEU Tamaraos.
LJ using Chuente for the screen, no good, and another offensive rebound for FEU. Chuente finally putting it in on the runner. And Pat Chuente, Yamaha Mio #1 move.
That is a well-deserved bucket for Pat Chuente with the way he is on the glass and the way he has defended Alex Jaquite.
That's right. 61-43. Back to an 18-point advantage for the Tamaraos. Manalang, Jaquite. Jaquite barreling his way through, but he couldn't finish it.
Pat Chuente is exhausted.
He absorbed that charge coming from Alex Jaquite earlier. Manalang here will go to Ray Suerte, who has 16 points in the ball game, 11 here in the second half. Suerte, Jaquite, open look, sending it out to Philip Manalang, who misses the triple.
And Alex Jaquite does not even have enough energy to take that jump shot from the elbow. That is how fast he is at this point.
Gonzalez setting it up, tough in the open look, Toughen knocks it down.
And, you know, the depth of FEU coming to play.
And El Gonzalez with a PS bankable assist off the game, parang PS Bank. Personal loan na maaasahan, apply online, no collateral. And Alex Stockton is down on the floor.
Coming in.
It looks like Alex Stockton was able to
also Harvey Pagsanhan and Jeremy Cruz
force a turnover.
Successful on that try. That's right. Almost 4 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter.
And Philip
Iboña checking in for Pat Chuente. And Jaquite also taking a breather for UE. Replaced here.
Well-deserved rest here for the FEU Tamaraos. Chuente, LJ Gonzalez in particular.
This is the biggest lead of the game for the Tamaraos. 21 big points off the inbound. Couldn't convert. And a lot of contact underneath, especially on that rebound play.
Almost successful once again with that knockout play. that
Number
baseline. They did that in the
Stockton is four.
first half of the ball game.
Yeah.
Wendell Comboy
So Stockton with personal fouls heading to the bench of FEU, replaced by the hot shooting Ino Comboy.
Suerte.
Comboy will check back to the game in favor of Ken Tuffet.
So Antiborda is also in for UE alongside Pagsanhan, Jem Cruz, Apasible, and Tolentino. No Suerte, Jaquite on the floor for UE.
Question for you here is, where will you get your scoring without Jaquite, without Ray Suerte, and without Philip Manalang on the floor?
Pagsanhan, pull-up jumper, Harvey missing badly on that shot.
And UE not scored more than 16 points in any of the 3 quarters that have gone by in this ball game.
And UE is leading it by 21. FEU rather. Yeah, FEU is leading it by 21. That's more scored by FEU than any of the quarters for UE. We've got a timeout on the floor here. FEU still ahead, almost halfway done in the final. (64-43), 5 and 36 remaining in this game. FEU looking to lock up
15
that
seconds.
Final 4 spot here in UAAP season 22, looking for their 8th win of the season as well. Iboña, they're in a very good position right now as Torres drops his first triple of the game. And that's our master play of the game, Cyrus Torres, able to knock it down, quickly answered on the other side.
I was about to say that was a great play call off the timeout to get your shooter Torres in the rhythm of the game. Prior to that, he had not made a triple in about 8 tries.
Look at the execution. Borge to Iboña inside as we reach our Gatorade hydration checkpoint here, our final one of the game.
And you talk about peaking at the right time. FEU Tamaraos, if this holds on, we'll go 5 and 2 here in the second round. But Jem Cruz has other things in mind.
Back-to-back triples for Jem Cruz. UE down by 20. Here's Iboña. They swing it around. Alforque will back. Ball stripped away. A steal from UE. Tolentino is on the move. The kick out to Jem Cruz from the same spot. Different result though, bit of a heat check right there for Cruz.
Well, they're gonna call a foul, I believe, on Cyrus Torres.
And look at the setup here, Iboña to Cyrus Torres for that corner triple.
That's a sweet stroke there from the wingman.
And Cyrus Torres, number 3 in the league in 3-point field goals made with 13 so far. That's his first one out of 8 attempts today. Timeout here, FEU with a 20-point lead. Back to the coverage here. Mike Tolomia, also former FEU Tamaraw in attendance here.
Speaking of former, happy birthday to former head coach of the FEU Tamaraw, Bert Flores.
Yeah, happy birthday, coach. Take a look at this McDonald's instant replay. It is Jen Cruz scoring on the 3, and that trimmed it to 20 points. These are the parents of Ino Comboy, Wendelino Comboy Jr. And this is Comboy watching here in attendance. Again, Comboy playing out the final year. His final year here in the UAAP.
I'm sure they are mighty proud of the way Wendell Comboy has played not only but his entire UAAP career.
That's right. And today in particular, in a must-win situation, he has answered the call for FEU and led them in scoring here with 17.
6 of 9 from the field, 4 rebounds, 0 turnovers.
Very efficient production off the bench for FEU's captain, Alforque. FEU on the attack, UE 1 out of 2 to trim the lead to 19. Gonzalez the kick out, they swing it to Alforque, splits the D, floater, banker, it's good.
How about this backcourt between LJ Gonzalez and Royce Alforque?
And Alforque with boys and in the paint. 3-point field goals this game. UE started 0 out of 16. Ever since then, they started to pick it up here in the second half. 5 out of 9 so far.
That is a terrific line.
Yeah,
to the FEU Tamaraw. Hindi mo alam kung saan magagaling yung penetration.
correct. You got 2 weapons here on the floor. Right now, they're taking turns. Earlier, it's Alforque. Now it's Gonzalez. He will set up Nunag for the 3. It will not drop. So 3 and 12 remaining in the ball game. Cam Cruz. Oh, third triple here in the 4th for Cruz.
And quickly continues his hot shooting. 9 points over for Jem Cruz.
And make that 6 out of 10 for UE from point range ever since that 0 out of 16 start. Gonzalez, a good cut inside by Nuna. The foul for him.
What a find from LJ Gonzalez.
Gonzalez was bothered. Nuna got the finish for our Jollibee 100%. The amazing move of the quarter. Take a look at this pass. Gonzalez at the last moment deciding to pass it to Nuna, who had the sense of urgency and the alertness to cut inside and take that pass.
And you know that move by LJ Gonzalez is more difficult than it looks because you had initially made up your mind to go for the shot. Suddenly you feel a defender behind you double clutch, and while in midair finds the cutting teammate. That is special.
That's right. That's just tremendous control from the sophomore guard of the Tamaraws. Paksanhan releases off to the left again. And here comes LJ Gonzalez bringing it down for FEU. 20-point lead. With about 2:20 remaining in the game. Nag, no go. Ebonya to clean up, still nothing. And Paksanhan gets it.
LJ Gonzalez, I believe, has 10 rebounds already to his name. Neil Tolentino scores in position.
Sneaking in for that fast break basket. And we are inside the final 2 minutes of this game. PS Bank last 2 minutes. PS Bank pa sent via mobile ang padala mo. Cash in minutes. And LJ Gonzalez doing damage in different parts of the court that time. Knocking down the triple to give FEU the humongous 21-point lead, 76 to 55. You got a timeout here, but before that, let's take a quick scan of the numbers. 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, and how about the box plus minus of Gonzalez today?
Highest on the squad, plus 26 for LJ Gonzalez. So he's going to finish with a double-double. That's 12 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, just 2 turnovers, and 1 steal.
And he has been that kind of threat for FEU season. So third unit for FEU now inside. Mantua. Here's the drive. Big. Oh, that's a good shot. Coming from Kim Paikin. Another graduating player for the Tamaraos, and then the rejection on the other side for Nunag.
So with this impending victory, FEU will move up
Yeah.
to 8 and 6 in a tie with UST
What
for third spot currently.
what will this win for FEU mean for them?
So this will guarantee them at least a playoff for a Final Four spot. They will await the next two matches of the UP Fighting Maroons. Again, UP needs one win out of their last two matches to assure themselves of second place. If they drop those two games, we could potentially have a three-way or a four-way tie for second.
That's right. And this is our Aksan Know You Can player of the game, Royce Alforque, bringing the energy off the bench and getting the numbers here for the Tamaraos. He has 13 points, a rebound, and 3 times on his play. Has really charged this FEU team, especially in that second quarter when they started to make their run, Marco B.
And look at the backcourt combination of the present and the future. LJ Gonzalez, Royce Alforque. Alforque will finish with 13 points, leading scorer of the squad. Next, of course, to Wendell Comboy, 17. And FEU, 12 winners in this ball game.
And also, what a way to end the first round if you're, or the elimination round rather, if you're FEU, as the bench continues to score here for the Tamaraos. Dolate the score inside. And this is how you finish. You get the 22-point advantage here. You finish your elimination round on a high note going into the four.
And again, continuing to add to their points per game average, now with 80 already.
And Tempra adds on to the damage here. 82 points on the board for the Tamaraos. And they have scoring ever since that wrecking loss against NU in the first round. Right now, way above 70 points per game here, at least in the final 8 games of the season.
And they will hold this last possession.
So the FEU Tamaraos, there you go.
All except one player fielded in. Or all FEU players except for Mantua have already scored this season. That just talks about depth, talks about equal opportunity. But Del Comboy, big man of the outing.
So the FEU Tamaraos taking care of business here in our first offering, tying UST for that 8 and 6 slate in the team standings. Again, they are assured of at least a playoff for the number 4 spot here in the season.
And they continue to be one of the hottest teams in the league now at 5-2 in the second round.
What a way to finish the eliminations here for the FEU Tamaraos, an 82-15 here against the UE Red Warriors. FEU taking care of business again here in our first game. Later on, we'll meet our best player of the game when we return here on SNA.